I'm Aaron from Adelaide RV Service Centre. Welcome to the workshop. Here we've got Simon and Andy's van. We're going to be doing a first service on it and just give you a general rundown on what that involves and how we go about it. What we do is we do inspection of the van undercarriage, check the wheels, the suspension, bearings, adjust the brakes, make sure everything's good there, and then we go inside a bit more in depth into the van through the appliances, cupboards, just your sort of general wear and tear items. And what that does is allow us to uphold the warranty from factory. And also we can iron out any other issues that you might have found on your first couple of trips and sort of get them looked at for you. So here we are inside the van. We've just gone through and checked out most of the cupboard catches. Now the customers have been pretty happy so far and haven't had many issues, but one thing they did mention is just this cupboard here just fails to latch. Now, as you're using the van over time, obviously it's going to be going over bumps and corrugations and stuff, even on bitumen road. Things do tend to shake and move a little bit, so part of our routine checks is just to check all these cupboard catches and make sure that they all lock and stay secure while travelling. So this one in particular, the customers mentioned that it's come loose and won't shut properly, so we're just going to take a bit of care and time just to adjust that for them. So part of our first service is to check all the appliances in the van. So in this van in particular, we've got the stovetop and oven, we've got the fridge, hot water service, and anything else that the customer might have opted in for on the build. So basically we've got to check the security of the appliances, make sure all the screws are in, haven't rattled loose. And then obviously the operation and function of it, just make sure it's all operating as it should. So this one in particular has got the 3 gas burners and the one 240 volt element. So again, there's a safety switch in the lid which turns that element on and off. We just check that. We check the thermal couples on the stovetop, make sure that they're heating up and allowing the gas to stay on, as well as the grill and the oven. So we'll just go ahead and do that. The Hawk ovens, what you might notice is they've got a little clip to hold the thermostat for the oven just on the side there. Now a lot of the time that can jiggle and come loose during travel, so it's a good thing just to keep an eye on it, make sure that clip is still in there. If not, it may have just fallen out, sitting somewhere in the bottom of the oven. So yeah, part of the service, we check the fridge as well, one of the appliances, obviously make sure it's still secure in the van, and then also test the operation. So we've got on the automatic function, we'll just make sure that it works on 240, gas and 12 volt. So what we can do is just isolate the 240 volt power, make sure the fridge will switch over to gas, which it should do. And so on occasion when the fridge goes to switch over on from 240 to gas, it may come up with an error symbol. Now to reset that, all you have to do is press and hold this button as if you're going to turn it off, and just take your finger off when you hear the beep. So that's now reset the error code. You can see it's switched over to gas and now it's going to start trying to light. So it should try and light about 2 or 3 times. If by then it doesn't light, that error code might come back up. Then you might want to just check, make sure you got enough gas in the gas bottles, that the isolator's turned on and so on, before you try it again. During the first service we also check the water pressure from the pump, and check for any leaks in the cupboards. So yep, usually just prime up the system, get all the air out, both hot and cold. Turn that off, make sure that the pump primes up and actually cuts out. Generally, if you get any kind of leak, the pump will sort of prime intermittently, which yeah, obviously indicates that there might be a slow leak underneath. Yeah, in addition to that, we can test the hot water service, make sure that lights up on gas and also works on 240. So generally they'll have the controls up here in the cupboard. If we just flick them on, yeah, we'll soon know that it's working. Part of the first service, we check the red arc management system. We've got the display here. So basically we just go through, make sure the battery status is fine, and then also that the inputs are working. So you can see here we're plugged into 240 volt. We've got the front grey Anderson plug connected, so it's showing a connection with the car battery. And also, even though we're in the workshop, we've got solar sort of coming in and out. Obviously that'll be more predominant outside, but we can see all those connections are working and are all good. Here at the service centre, we've got a 12 volt tester for all the trailer lights and wiring on the caravans. Anderson plugs, reverse cameras. Basically we use it during the service just to make sure everything externally on the van works. As well, we can obviously switch the pin 12 power, which is auxiliary for the fridge, so make sure that works. And also the brake safe charging. So we'll go ahead and test that. So here we got left indicator, right indicator, tail lights and brake lights, and then yeah, go around the van, just have a visual inspection, make sure they're all secure. Yep, they'll look good. We've got a red Anderson plug to test the power feed to the ESC, which yep, comes up green, all good. Reverse camera connection here. Plug it in, we've got a makeshift monitor here as if it was fitted to your car. And yep, camera's all good. Yep, so whenever we turn the gas bottles on, we just like to spray the pigtail flexi pipes here. Just make sure the crimps are all good and there's no gas leaking from them. As well, we can obviously test for any leaks at the tap there and the regulator itself. We're all finished up inside on the van. Now we're going to move outside to the undercarriage and the wheels. Basically we're going to jack up the van, take the wheels off both sides, take the hubs off, inspect the bearings, clean the backing plates and hubs, make sure everything is as it should be, no excessive wear. We're going to grease the suspension, check all the tightness of bolts, basically reassemble the hubs, put the wheels back on, adjust the brakes, and yeah, just have a general look underneath the underbody of the van, make sure there's no low-lying cables or anything that's come undone. So inside the hub, we're just looking for any sort of signs of excessive wear, either on the face here where the electric magnet sits, or on the outside where the brake shoes contact the drum. But being a first service, unless there's something seriously wrong, the wear is going to be pretty minimal. Cleaning them regularly just helps get rid of the build-up of brake dust and any road dust. Obviously you can see it does get in behind, it's not a sealed unit. If you do take it off-road, you can get small rocks and stuff enter in there, and they can cause, you know, scores, even cause the brake shoe material to break off in parts. So it's always a good idea to periodically check them and give them a good clean. Obviously with them off you can inspect the components, make sure they're all where they should be. Got retaining springs, the electric magnet itself with the wires, and just the mechanism itself. Make sure it's all free and working. So just going to adjust the brakes and make sure that they're all even between all four wheels. So yeah, just got to take out the little dust cap in the back. And with our adjuster here, we're going to adjust the brakes all the way up so that the hub locks up. And then we're going to back it off till you just hear it to scrape. Last but not least, we'll check the wheel nut tension, and we set that to 130 Newton meters. Check all external hatches, lubricate locks, check the external screws, drop down legs as well, just make sure they're all working. Just found the front hatch, one of the locks was a little bit loose, so we're just going to tighten it up for them. Inspecting the silicone on top of the van, make sure there's no holes and that it's adhered to the roof of the van properly, so there's no potential water leaks. So now we're just going to have a quick look underneath the van, make sure there's no low-lying cables or you know, broken hose clamps, anything like that. So yeah. So having a look underneath the van, and we've just noticed that one of the heads of these tech screws is just sheared off here, so we'll drill that out and bang a new one in for them. Check is just have a look at the battery terminals, just check, make sure they're not corroded, and for tightness. Obviously you are, you know, towing on the road and it's going to bounce and move around a lot, so just make sure that the terminals are tight. And they're not going to cause any problems later on down the road. That pretty much wraps up the first service here. It all checked over pretty okay. We only found a couple of issues, being that cupboard catch and the broken screw on the wood tray. So apart from that, it's all pretty good.